Okay, Tiffany, so let's talk about, and again, you saw this information here, that's in the other video, so don't worry about that. I don't want to delete it. So let's talk about your client. Right off the bat, this client picks her skin. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to stress to her not to do that. You'll need to find out if she has a 10 times mirror, you know, the one that mounts on the wall with the light in it. Like I've done this before, if she says no and you don't believe her, or you've had a conversation with her and she's not willing to take it down, or she lies to you and tells you that she doesn't but she does, you will need her to take a picture of her bathroom. I know it seems kind of silly, and quite honestly it is silly, but if she doesn't understand what the picking is doing to her skin, it's basically undermining everything you're doing. And well, obviously that's a bad thing. What you want to do is you want to sit her down in front of a mirror and you want to show her the scabs or the areas where she's picking. And I know in the pictures she has them, but I think the pictures are older and she might not have that now. So make sure that you can, you know, point that out to her. And if you have to, take your camera, if she can't see it, you know, for whatever reason, but take your camera and zoom in on it. What you need to show her is the redness and the inflammation. And also too, let me draw something for you real quick on an acne blemish, okay? I would have discussed this later, but I'll go ahead and discuss it with you now. All right. And we're talking about open or closed. It really doesn't matter, okay? Okay, so and then let's do this, and then how do I want to do this? Let's go there. Okay, so we've got the SC, the epidermis, and the dermis. Okay, if you're going to do an extraction, you know, open or close, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to dot up here with regards to this. So this is, okay, so we've got open and closed, right? Okay. A long time ago, with regards to cystic acne, what they used to do is they used to like lance it, and you have to go way, way back. They really didn't know what to do, and we're talking about on a scale of acne of 1 to 4, we're talking about level 4, okay? What I want you to do is, this is an accurate representation of open and closed, okay? All right, now she has some cystic acne, and then she has other acne that may not be cystic, but it's still scarring. Now she does have some enlarged pores, you know, that can be ice pick scars, which is what they look like to me, and we'll go over those later, but discussing this right now, I'm going to draw arrows, okay? So no matter what you do, you are going to be best at this, but she's also going to do this at home, and this is why she can't, okay? Now, you're not going to go into the pore this way and try to lance it or pierce it to extract it and to use an extracting tool. There always is, you know, an opening to every acne blemish. The home surgeons always tend to go directly this way, correct? So watch. So the instrument, okay, goes down, and whatever that is, it's just a needle point, whatever it is, to create an opening and to create something that the at-home person, home surgeon can see, so they know what they're doing. Does that make sense? And normally what happens is when it enters, it's got to pierce the skin, and that's normally a feeling that they can have, okay? All right, so the needle goes in, and then the pressure is here and here. So what that pressure is doing is it's actually coming right about here. And she's forcing the skin. And what is that doing? Well, it's doing this. I'll draw this for you. And I'm not gonna edit this out. Okay, that's what it's doing. And then everything that's in here is now going into the skin, causing inflammation and just terrible things within the skin. While the hair follicle is kind of encapsulated, and whatever goes inside and the oil goes in, it's encapsulated, and rupturing it in this manner is the worst thing you can do. Now, it's difficult because, you know, the client's living with it, and I understand that. I believe that there are ways to extract. So what I want to do is I want to give you a broad overview, and then you use this as far as your extractions. But remember, we're trying to show her something so she won't do it. Okay? All right. So if you apply pressure here and here, and then she'll do that at home. She's not going to be as clean as you are. You have an instrument, I'm sure, that presses down here and gives equal pressure here and here with a tool, I'm assuming, correct? Okay. What you're relying on at that point is the foundation here. Correct? But it's spongy. It moves up and down, correct? It's not like you're hitting a slab of cement or wood or concrete or steel where there's nowhere for it to go. So as all this pressure is exerted, okay, everything is being pushed down. The only true way to, and I'm sure you see this coming, the only true way to extract is this way. All of this comes out. Anything you do is going to put all the force in this area here. All of it, no matter what you do. Now, the deeper it is into the skin, the worse it is. The higher it is, the easier it is, and that's what she's going to pick at. So what she's going to do is she's going to use her experience of what she's seen before work, not understand the consequences, with the ones that are related to the surface. And then she's going to apply that same experience and knowledge to the ones that are medium and deep and create massive problems. So you need to get her away from the mirror, get her away from the 10 times mirror. You need to show this to her, not this, but show her something like it, and then tell her this is what you're doing. And you need to convince her, because if you don't, it's just, this is a round robin. It's just a circle that's just going to keep repeating itself. You know, like the hamster wheel, it's just not going to end. Do I believe in extractions? I do. Do I believe in the right extractions? That's the point. Some extractions need to be left alone. They need to come to the surface. I know that's not what you want to hear, but tell me that I'm wrong. Tell me what I'm missing. Okay, so this is a very quick overview of this. There might be more questions or that you have for me. Please give them to me, and we'll go over it. Okay, and I hope this gives you a nice little overview. And all right, now we'll continue on to the next issue or concern. Lydia, what I'm doing is I'm looking at the picture, and then I'm bringing a topic back and I'm discussing it with you. So the jump cuts. The jump cut is where, you know, the video stops and it cuts to something else. So the jump cuts are me stopping the camera and going back to the to your picture of your client, looking at it, and then coming back and discussing something with you. I want you to look at the picture, and I believe it's the same. I don't think it's a duplicate. I think it's the same exact picture that you sent me twice. And I want you to look at the left-hand side of the picture, okay? And I want you to look at her hairline. From the cheekbone here up to about here on the picture is makeup. So you can see the makeup that was left, and you can see the makeup in the hairline. And I noticed that, And I wanted to point that out to you because that, I mean, obviously you know that should be cleaned, but maybe you just wanted to take a picture or whatever. I don't know. But if you leave that for a chemical peel or any treatment whatsoever, obviously you know it's not a good thing. So I think maybe I just want to point out to you that when I clean a client's skin, I'm not worried about, obviously I'm touching it gently, but I take my time and I'm thorough. Am I giving them a shower? No, but it's very, very, very clean. Let me demonstrate something for you real quick right here, okay? Now remember I said I'm always teaching you how to do trichloroacetic acid. Even though you can't touch trichloroacetic acid, I want you to know that it doesn't matter. It still applies all the way down, okay? So let me explain what's happening or what can happen, okay? So right here is the top of the SC, okay? And then obviously we have here, and then we have the epidermis, that thick, and then here's the dermis, okay? Maybe I'll leave this up for you, okay? And then we'll use it again. All right. I need to exaggerate this so that you can see it, okay? But if you leave makeup there, this won't apply to microdermabrasion or dermaplaning because that will just be part of the sloughing. But if there is any residue in the typography of the skin, and what I mean by that is this is what it looks like. Okay, those are the corneocytes. You can't see what is residual there, but if there is something right here, okay, or gaps and crevices, when you draw that, when you dermaplane or when you microdermabrate, you're going to see this inside. What's that word slurry? Okay, that's what they call it. Okay, so back to the chemical peel. Well, I'm sorry, I'll go back here. The dermaplaning and the microdermabrasion, isn't that going to give you a false sense of depth if you have makeup? Because aren't you looking at the byproduct of the action of the instrument you're using? You are. Well, that will be in with those corneocytes, so you don't exactly know what you're really looking at because you can't see it. Makeup. Now, I'm broad stroking this, so you might be saying, no, I do, I know. Okay, fair enough. But I know that because I've said this, you'll go ahead and you'll take a look at it and you'll pay attention to it. And that's really all I want. I'm not here to tell you, oh, you're doing it wrong. Don't do that. That's not what this is about. I'm not there. This isn't my client. I'm not you. So if I see something like makeup on the side of the face, I have to assume certain things. Okay? Now, with regards to a chemical peel, is makeup hard to get off? Some makeup is. Some makeup even requires an additive, something to get it off. Okay, now I've put on Halloween makeup before and I've set it with a powder or a spray. It's hard to get off. Now I don't wear makeup you go out in public and stuff like a girl would every day, but clearly that is makeup. And here's what will happen with a chemical peel if you miss it. And again, remember the typography, it matters. And let me kind of prove it to you, okay? So if these are corneocytes, right? Okay, well, the liquid that goes in, the liquid that you drop, okay, glycolic acid, salicylic acid, and lactic acid are intercellular, not transcellular. Intercellular is in between. Okay, transcellular is straight through. TCA and Jesner go straight through. Intercellular versus transcellular. Right up here, I'm going to draw it for you, okay? I'm going to draw it. Okay, transcellular, straight through, not intercellular, transcellular. TCA, higher strength peels. intercellular. Okay? Well, if you don't get the makeup off, okay, this is what happens. Okay? Here's the makeup, right, that you left. There it is. Do I even need to draw the line? How's it going to go through there? So if you have the face, look over here. If you have the face and you're looking at transcellular, which is glycolic acid, lactic acid, and salicylic acid, you're going to have uneven penetration. All right? So not only is the skin at a micron level and you can't see it, right? I mean, using the loop, the 16 times loop, but you still can't see it. So it's important to understand that if you leave makeup, it's uneven, right? All right. That's what that is there. Transcellular, intercellular. Okay? So I think I've covered that, and I just want you to remember that when you cleanse the skin, don't worry about inflaming. You want to be gentle, but you want to be thorough. So if that was a one-off, just little whatever, and you took the picture, I'm glad that you did it, because it allows me to show you the stratum corneum, the makeup here that was left behind, the transcellular versus the intercellular, lactic acid, glycolic acid, and salicylic acid is transcellular. It goes through like this. Now you know what that makeup is going to do. And not only makeup, but dirt, whatever. I mean, seriously, whatever. Oil, whatever. That is why I use acetone. That is why I use alcohol. Is for this very purpose right here. I must make sure that skin is absolutely clean. And the next time you think it's not, or you think it is, take a 16 times loop, the one that I showed you in the other video. Look at the skin. Just take a look and see. And if you see makeup, it's still on there. I think maybe what you're worried about is over touching the skin. And it is a concern, but it's not as big of a concern as leaving dirt, oil, and makeup on the skin prior to a chemical peel. Okay? And I also related it to dermaplaning and microdermabrasion, because you're going to assume that's exfoliation. Right? You're not going to say it's dirt, right? Because you cleanse the skin. So you're not going to microderm, or you're not going to dermaplane and say, oh wow, look at all these dead skin cells I'm getting. See where that's going to go? All right. So there's another thing to consider and to think about, and on to the next. Tiffany, so I drew another face up here because I wanted to show you something. I emailed the PDF document to Christina, and she'll be able to forward it to you with all of the educational documents that I've written, including the ones that Tiffany I think asked for, with the the questionnaires and things. There are documents in there on the Woods lamp, and what I want you to do is I want you to use a Woods lamp on this client and read that information. If you have questions about it, let me know. What I need you to do is I need you to do a worksheet on this client, and I need you to classify all of the different, and here's how you do this. You sit her in front of the mirror and she points out her concerns, right? And you have different markers, squares, triangles, and circles. That's what my documentation says. So what you're going to do is you're going to have a piece of paper that looks just like this, right? It's in the documents. And you're going to label, what does a square mean? This is a concern. What does a triangle mean? It means a very deep pigmentation. So let's say DP1, okay? And maybe you have a grading scale of 1 through 4. You see what I'm saying? So it's deep, but then you have various levels of that. And then the circle could just mean like new acne. Okay? You can do a sheet. You can do this however you want. The important thing is this is not a picture, but it's a written drawing of a picture of an event in time between you and the client. using the Woods lamp to determine her areas of concern and how deep the pigmentation is. Okay, so I'm guessing at this. You call it whatever you want. But the issue is, I'm going to draw it right here, real simple. Actually, I'll draw it right here. Real simple. As C, epidermis, and the dermis. Okay? Where's the pigment? Is it here? Is it there? Or is it there? And here's why this is important. If pigmentation is here, if this is it, right here, right? That is very deep. What is required for very deep? Very strong procedures. What about superficial in the stratum? What about way up here? Okay, what about that? And what about this? Glycolic acid, not salicylic, not lactic. So are you treating acne or are you treating superficial hyperpigmentation? Because you're not going to use salicylic acid on hyperpigmentation that is relatively deep. If it's really, really superficial, salicylic acid or lactic acid might be strong enough to take care of it with one peel. Chances are not. That's why glycolic acid is the go-to. So you're going to go ahead and find out the depth, do the worksheet, look at the material that I sent to Christina, and you're going to determine how many sheets do you need, what is the square, the triangle, and the circle going to represent, and you're going to map out your client's skin. Once you map it out, then you're going to determine what you can actually do. Think of it this way. If I want to destroy a building, right? Well, if I make a house out of cards, like playing cards or out of Legos or something, and the house is this big, well, I could come up with a little tiny hammer and hit it and it's going to get destroyed, right? That's bringing the right hammer for the right job. But if I bring the hammer to a full-scale house and I go and I hit the wall, it's going to take me a lifetime to destroy that house. That's bringing the wrong tool. So don't bring the wrong tool. Bring the right tool for the right job. That means understanding your client's face, understanding their concerns, you mapping out what's going on in their face, new acne, old acne, hyperpigmentation, hypopigmentation, and then using the Woods lamp to determine the depth of it, and DP1, DP2, DP3, whatever. Okay, or you could use where you think it is. Well, I think it's in the SC, or I think it's in the epidermal because it's really, really deep. That's a very good idea, because then what you could do is say, no, I think this is superficial and it's in the stratum corneum. I can get this with salicylic or lactic and also apply for the acne as well. Or it's too deep and I need to go with glycolic acid. Now remember, glycolic acid is time dependent, so we'll get to that in a second. This is a broad overview, but I hope it helps and puts you on a better path toward documenting what's going on with your client's skin and being able to assess actually the right hammer or the right chemical peel or microdermabrasion or dermaplaning. Again, I'm not saying you can't do those things. I'm not. Just got to know what the right hammer is. Does that make sense? All right, on to the next. Tiffany, one thing I would like you to do is, on the picture that you sent me, this represents the face, okay, of the picture, all right? So if you look at your phone, I think it's probably pretty much the same, right? Same angle and everything. Will you do me a favor, and will you zoom in on that picture that you sent me? And will you please look at that area of the face? And I would like you to tell me whether or not you think that's hypopigmented or not. Really zoom in on it. Then when you see your client tomorrow, I want you to zoom in. I want you to get very, very close to her skin and try to get the right lighting and see if you agree that the picture represents what's going on. And I want you to look around her face in these areas. Here, I want you to look here. Okay, and then very importantly, I would like you to look here. Okay. This area right here, the pink, is that from acne? Look very close at it, because I zoomed in on it and I don't get it. If you look at the other acne areas, or you know, one-offs, they're not like that in that particular pattern or that particular pigmented structure. Just take a look at it and see what you think. Okay, something happened there. Something happened here, and right here. If you take a look at it, again, I'm really nitpicking. Okay, to make you aware of what I'm seeing so that you'll look at it with a different eye, because the information is coming from me telling you to look at it. So that's why. Again, I'm looking at an old picture, so that's really tough. And then obviously I've never seen this client, so that kind of makes a difference as well. So I did notice, but the major area of concern that I want you to look at is this one. In the picture, it looks hypopigmented. I hate to tell you this, but based on the information that I did on dermaplaning and the information on microdermabrasion, but let's just talk about planing the skin with a knife. That was one of the major concerns, was hypopigmentation. The actual number was 30 to 50% of the clients that had this procedure done in Fitzpatrick on the lower scales. Okay, not on 4, 5, and 6, but on the lower scales, 30 to 50%. Hypopigmented. Now the other ones, because the assault on the epidermis, they hyperpigmented. So that's always a concern on a post-pill complication, is hyperpigmentation, the darker. But they found with dermaplaning the skin, it was hypopigmenting. Now here's something I didn't talk about. I'll go ahead and tell you this right now. Very interesting. Do you know how when you dermaplane the skin, it's bending and it's moving because it's pliable and it's soft? One of the things they did in the very early days, this goes back to 50s and 60s and coming forward, 70s, 80s, and that kind of thing, they used to freeze the skin. It was actually a medical, it was an outpatient, but it was the patient would come in and then outpatient, they would leave, but it was a medical procedure, and they actually froze the skin. And the reason they froze the skin, and think about this for a second, instead of the skin doing this as you're running the blade across it, because it is. And if you don't believe me, or if you'd like to see it for yourself, take a piece of plastic, a credit card, or something that you know won't cut the skin, and tell Tiffany to lie down and get as close as you can and run that credit card, run that piece of plastic or whatever is going to be dull, and see the skin do that. So what the doctors did in the early days is they froze the skin. So it would froze it so that it would do this. Okay, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to give you the bottom layer of the stratum corneum and the epidermis, right? So and make this easy. There's your stratum corneum right there, and here's your epidermis, right? Okay, so here's your epidermis. This is 1, this is 2, okay? All right, now if you see what's coming already, and again, I'm trying to bird's eye view this, but if I get into it, I get deeper into it. So when you were dermaplaning her skin right here, did you drag it? And did it wave on you? Because you can see now, if that's frozen, they used to use a spray that would freeze it, right? Well, isn't that like going into a piece of clay and basically, if this is all, watch this. Actually, I'm going to do it right here. If this is all thick, that's the epidermis, right? That's the epidermis. And here is the SC, that line right there. And you drag that knife when it's frozen, well, isn't it going to do that? You get the picture, isn't it? Well, but what's going to happen up here as it's waving on you? Please take a look at that. Please take a look at that and tell me and take a picture. Tell me what's there. And I want you to take this information and apply it. And you tell me with a very close eye, is that hypopigmented and is that hypopigmented? Okay? And then for this area here, what I want you to look at, there's like this pattern of hyperpigmentation, right? What I want you to look at is, why in the picture, is it red to you below the pigmentation? To me, it looks like it's below it. How is that possible? But that's my eye through an iPhone picture. So please take a look at that, and I hope this helps clarify the issue of the wavy skin and why they would freeze it. And again, this is going back to the 50s. That's a long time ago. Okay, right? I hope this helps, and we'll go on to the next issue. Now, when looking at the picture, I did notice that she gets her lips done. So I think there's a lip augmentation going on there. You can see it right in here. That tells me a lot about her, and I think her eyelashes are done as well. And I'm not sure if she's doing Botox or anything like that. But it does give me an idea of who she is as a person. One thing that I want you to take a look at, and you won't be able to do this tomorrow, but I want you to ask her if there's SPF in her foundation. And if there is, she needs to find a product that does not have SPF in it. Continually put those chemicals onto your skin. SPF ingredients are inflammatory, period. When you put an SPF on your skin, you are basically saying that I would rather have the irritation than the sun damage. That is correct. It's one off. You're not going to take SPF to Hawaii. What? That's an exaggeration, but I'm sure you get the point. Okay? All right. You need to know, okay, as I was going somewhere with that. You need to know what color foundation she's using. Okay? I want you to think of foundation like the pants we wear. Okay? My pants do not have any elastic in them. So if I gain weight, these will feel tight. Okay? If they have elastic in them, I can keep eating and gaining weight, and I will never feel that pressure. Okay? Flexible clothing is the worst thing that you could ever do as it relates to your weight, because you can eat and keep the same clothes. I would have to get a whole new wardrobe, and I don't want to do that. So the minute I see my pants, you get the point. Foundation is the same thing to the face. You need this client to go lighter, to not cover up the damage that she is doing to her skin. The more damage that she does, the darker the foundation is going to get. That's the concealer. Concealer is not a positive thing as it relates to smoothing and beautifying the skin. It's actually a crutch. I'm not telling you to say, hey client, bring in your foundation. You can't have this anymore. You need to go with a lighter one. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is have a discussion with her. My clients, with regards to the color of the foundation, go lighter. If they're going the other way, it's either me or them. And if it's them, I'm going to fire them. That's an exaggeration, but you get the point. The foundation color should be lighter. So if she's able to pick her skin in the mirror, do whatever she's doing, create all this hyperpigmentation or all these spots, right? She's able to cover it up with the foundation. And here's where it gets really critical. This is not a one-off thing. This is insidious, meaning it happens slowly over time and you don't even know that it's going on until it's too late. You mentioned in your text that it was a month ago and then 7 days later. Now I addressed this, but we'll address it again. So today is 12/22. That's tomorrow. Okay? We're going back in time to 11/22. 1 week later, you said that she got another chemical peel. 1 week later. So that puts her at, well, 7, 8 days. That's your 30 right there. So is it fair to say that this is 12/1? I think that's accurate, correct? I don't have to be exact, obviously I don't, okay? So that's accurate. You've got 1 month, all right. So this is actually three weeks. What's the cycle? Okay. Regenerating cycles every 2 to 4, every 4. Well, you did a peel here, right? And then here was planing. Correct? Do you think 3 weeks was enough for her to heal? And I want to ask you a question. Please look at the picture. And please look at her skin tomorrow. Do you see any pink? Do you see anything that resembles an assault on the skin, an inflammation? And you've got to look close. You've got to get really, really close to it. Okay? I use the eyepiece, the 10 times mirror. If that gets you close enough, that's fine. But really, really look at it, because we're talking about 3 weeks here. I don't know if that's enough. And so you're going to do what tomorrow? This is another peel. So in 1 4-week period of time, in a 4-week period of time, you will have peeled her skin 3 times. Does that seem like overkill to you? It does to me. You like me, you like it straight. Okay. I would never do that. This is too much. I believe by doing it this much, you are harming the skin and not helping. You like it straight, Lydia. I'm giving it to you straight. Now here's a positive. Look at the picture. Does her skin look like it's been peeled 3 times? Does it look bad? But I got to back up, because the picture's not tomorrow. When you look at her skin, 4 weeks, 3 peels, all exfoliating, and the dermaplaning too. Like, remember the education on dermaplaning. So what do you think of the 3 peels and the condition of her skin? Is it too thin? Is she becoming sensitive? Is she having issues? Do you see issues? You're the only one that can say. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to take this information, what I just did, and I want you to take what I just said, and I want you to set it over here. Okay? Here's you. Okay? Okay? Here's Marty. Talking at you, right? Okay? Here's you. What I want you to do is I want you to take your own ideas and filter my words into it and figure out where it works. Figure out what applies. Figure out what you believe and figure out what you don't. What you don't believe, allow experience and time to help you to determine whether or not it's real or not real. And the things that do make sense to you, apply them immediately with your education. Do not do what I tell you to do. This is not Lydia, jump, and you wait, and you say, well, you didn't tell me how high. That's not what this is. Do not be a robot. You are not my pet, okay? I want you to take this information and apply it to what you know, your education, right? I keep saying that, but it's really important because it's the hardest thing for me to get across is that you're not my pet. You're not a robot. I need you to be free thinking and debate and say, no, I don't agree with that. And let me prove you wrong, or you prove me wrong, and I've discussed that. Okay, so I hope this helps, and I'll continue on with the next step. One thing I would like you to do for me, or actually, remember to do it this way, and I'm not sure how you're doing it. I'm only basing it on the picture that you gave me. When you do pictures, here's the important thing: same camera, same lighting, same room, same position. If you do that, no matter what, your pictures will always come out nice. It's when you have someone standing in this room, you take a picture, and then you come back and you say, oh no, we need more light, and you move them. Don't do that. The only way to see progress is same camera, same lighting, same room, same position. Okay? And as far as how you're going to take pictures, I know this. The reason I'm saying this is because I'd like to see there's a lot of light coming in on the photo. There's a lot of light coming on this side of the face, or as you look at me, it's on this side of the face. So you take one head on, and then you take one at this angle and this angle. It doesn't have to be, this special perfect way every time. Just remember what I just said with regards to the positioning and all that, and then get in a habit of taking them in the same angle. If you look at the other video, I think I put it down though, but you saw the pictures. I took the forehead, and then I took each eye, and then I went in this way. Okay, so even though I specifically instructed how to take those photos, so that was me instructing: do this one, and do this one, and that's what I got. Okay, so I want you to do the same thing and adhere to it all the time. Don't change what you're doing. Keep it the same every single time. Maybe take Tiffany or maybe Tyler or Christina and find the perfect place for you where you take all of your photos. And then also the background. Okay, it's okay to do it. It's okay to do it standing up. Make sure they close their eyes. They don't need to have their eyes open, do they? Close their eyes. I do. Have them closed. And then find that perfect spot. It's a really good idea to know what your background is going to be too. So if they stand against a wall, you get that good color difference. And then you want to just make sure there's enough lighting so that you don't have a lot of shadows. Okay? And when you want to zoom in on something, zoom in and get close. Don't be afraid. All right? Don't be concerned about what they're going to think about what you're looking at. Do you have to get that close and take a picture? Well, as a matter of fact, I do. All right? Because that's what you're here for, and that's what they're seeing you for. All right, so I hope that helps and gives you some ideas on how to do that. And it'll help me when you send me pictures. So if nothing else, please do it for me. Okay? All right, on to the next issue. Lydia, this is the information that I got from the text, and I added to it. So on 12/22, and this is kind of like a chart in her file, right? So on 12/22, we're doing the BHA-AHA chemical peel. Would I do it tomorrow? Yes, it's okay. Go ahead and do it. It's not glycolic. It's salicylic acid, and it's a less strength. Okay, than molecular strong. I mean, the acid is not as strong as a glycolic, regardless of pH or percentage. So it's okay. Go ahead and do it, and do what you would normally do. As far as products go, facial cleanser, sensitive skin, facial toner, hyaluronic acid serum, skin recovery serum, ceramide lotion, salicylic acid cleanser, anti-age regenerating cream. Whatever product she comes back with, and I think she's coming back with hydrating lotion, give her full credit, and you're going to sell her the ceramide lotion. Okay, I'm going to give you the protocol, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay, facial cleanser, sensitive skin, no brainer, AM and PM. Facial toner. Facial toner in the AM after facial cleanser sensitive skin is a great idea. It's hydrating, she'll feel clean, and it has active ingredients that help natural moisturizing factor. It has a vitamin C. It will be very nice in the morning. Oh, by the way, Lydia, have you heard before that vitamin C is applied in the morning and vitamin A at night? Do you want to know why that is? Most people don't know. They just think, oh, that's just the protocol and that's the skincare industry. And some people do. It's not like it's earth-shattering news, but vitamin C is a natural SPF. Hence, apply it in the morning. It's as simple as that. You could not do any of these and just do facial cleanser sensitive skin in the morning and do everything else in the PM, and that would be perfectly fine. I have actual protocols where I go over that, and I'll go over that at a later time and how you do it and why you would do it. And there are some really good reasons for it. Not everyone agrees with me, but I'll tell you anyway at a later time. All right, so hyaluronic acid serum, that's a great finisher. Okay, then makeup, and that's it. Facial cleanser, so we're now going to go to the PM. So facial cleanser sensitive skin in the PM. Facial toner, she can do it if she wants to. No reason she can't. Hyaluronic acid serum, I don't think it's necessary, because what you're doing next is you're doing skin recovery serum. Okay, and remember, it's a little drying, says I've heard, or so I've heard. Fair enough. Okay, add the ceramide lotion on top. Now you'll notice I wrote these also in the order that you're going to apply them to. I believe I did. Pretty sure I did. Okay. All right. Now, anti-aging regenerating cream. This is for the eyes. Okay. She's young enough and old enough to benefit from the active ingredients that are in anti-aging. The other reason that I want her to use this product, and if you could sell her one, sell her one. Okay, but anti-aging regenerating cream, and after she applies to the eyes, I want her to go ahead and apply around her lips, because she has lip injections. I believe she does. I zoomed in and it looks like she does. But it'll be really nice. She doesn't smoke, I can tell you that, or that's a great guess, because I don't see any lines. I don't see that evident. And her skin really isn't, it's not that bad. And that, even saying that kind of sounds negative. It's not that bad, but she's got nice skin. It just has acne, and I think there's been things that have been going on that have kind of given it a little bit of an extra pigmentation flavor. Okay, so let's get back to anti-aging regenerating cream. So that's for the eye, orbital eye area right here, and then around the mouth. Finish there, right? And then the ceramide lotion, you know, either or, but the skin recovery serum has to go first. Now, you can see salicylic acid is here, all right? So the choice is yours. I can't tell you what to do. I haven't met the client. I don't know the client. So this is how this works. All right. In the PM. Why in the PM? Because I don't want this individual going out in the sun after applying salicylic acid to their face through a cleanser. Is that overkill, an exaggeration? It is. But I have a choice, so why not put it at the PM? All right. You choose, I can't choose for you, but either every Wednesday, one weekend, night, or Tuesday and Thursday. In the PM, she's going to apply salicylic acid cleanser. Client control. She can't pick, she can't use salicylic acid more than what you're telling her. You need to stress to her that she needs to do exactly what you tell her to do. If she doesn't, you're not going to know, she's not going to know. She has to trust you. I've talked about it before, so please make that happen. Okay. Salicylic acid is time dependent. Okay. Now, if she feels overly dry, like maybe some concerns, maybe the weather is turned south and it's a lot colder, that's going to increase drying. What you want to do is you want her to use dry hands, dry face, okay? But what you want to make sure of is that she doesn't put the salicylic acid cleanser like a lotion into her face. So sometimes if you put any cleanser, dry hands, dry face, you get that lotion penetration and it vanishes. That's not what we want. So kind of, maybe take her into the bathroom and kind of show her that so she can see it, and take a drop of salicylic acid and facial cleanser sensitive skin, and you can actually, of course you can, put it into the skin, absorb it, and it'll disappear, but that's not what we want. So go ahead and you're going to lather it up. You need a little bit of water, okay? But just pay attention to how much water just to get the job done, because you want the highest strength, the 2%, to do its job with regards to the acne condition. Okay. With that being said, you want to time it. When she washes her face, tell her to count down from 30. Gently. 30, 29, 28, and just count down normal speed. Nothing fast, nothing ultra slow. 30 seconds. Make sure that you agree on the time so that you know, and write it in her chart. That way you're both on the same page. Okay? That's the protocol. You know how to do everything else pre, and you know post peel, right? What else is there? Oh, there is one thing. Yes, when you take your pictures, make sure the headband is on, and make sure that the forehead is exposed. Now you know to feather into the hairline, right? When you pull the hairline back, you're going to go ahead and get 1 centimeter or 1/4 of an inch back of the hairline. So you need to feather it. All right, that's for a line of demarcation on TCA and Jesner peels. Okay, and remember, I'm always training for the higher end, so that if you ever could do them, you would be ready. There's really nothing more. Oh, okay. Money and products. All right. What I want you to do is I want you to work with Christina, because this young lady, this girl may not be prepared to do this. Okay? So I know you care about this client. All right? What I want you to do is I want you to talk to talk to Christina, and I want you to make this happen. I will handle things with Christina. I don't know the business. I don't know the pricing models, not of me, what's going on inside, the business. So whatever discounts, what holidays, things like that. I gave kits, but this is one-off. So I think Christina and the three of you and you are going to go ahead and try to make this work with regards to the kits I just sent. As it relates to the products here, full hydrating lotion, full credit applied. Whatever she doesn't have, go ahead and sell her. And here's what I would do. If she already has the products and you can discount them, okay, to commit her, tell her that if you can, before she comes in tomorrow, have her bring it all in. If it's empty, if it's 50% or more full, you wouldn't want to do this. But 50% to less, you may want to do this and have her purchase all of this at one time, and maybe you discount certain things. My point is this. I don't want sticker shock. If a client comes in and spends hundreds and hundreds of dollars, that's great for business. That's great for revenue. But how does the client feel? Do they feel warm and rewarded for what they purchased? Or is there something else they're going to feel like there's a lot of money, right? I might as well make this point now. What do you think she's going to want to do? Put all the money in this, or put all the money in MAC or Bobbi Brown or YSL or whatever other brand of foundation is out there?